If you use Airbnb in Jamaica, either as a renter or a rentee, watch this because the rules could be changing soon. I'm Kalilah, Reynolds, financial journalist and educator based in Jamaica. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says he's pushing for a review of the Tourism Act so that the Airbnb sector can be formalized. And I say Airbnb, but I'm using that term to refer to all short-term rentals, which are 30 days or less. Airbnbs are massively popular here and growing. According to Bartlett, the sector brought in over $100 million last year, and nearly 1 out of every 3 stayover visitors to Jamaica stayed at an Airbnb. That's as much as 500,000 people. But because Airbnbs are still relatively new to Jamaica, there are no laws to regulate the industry, which could be a problem in the making. Now, Bartlett's statement comes after New York City basically banned Airbnbs across the city. On September 3, New York City began enforcing its local Law 18, or the short-term rental registration law, and it imposes some strict regulations on the industry. For starters, hosts, that's the people renting out their spaces, must register with the city and receive approval to act as short-term rental hosts. Okay, so that one's not so bad, especially when you consider the safety aspect. Registering with the city implies some kind of background check, which would put guests' minds at ease. But then the law adds that only residents of New York are allowed to register as hosts. So you can't live in Jamaica and own an apartment in New York and rent it out. And hosts must agree to be present in the actual space while the guests are there. Oh, and no more than 2 guests are allowed at a time. What? So technically, the city didn't outright ban short-term rentals, but with all the hoops landlords will have to jump through, they pretty much did ban it. Now, Airbnb has already come out to say the law is a de facto ban on its business, and they've had to cancel thousands of stays. On the other hand, a lot of New Yorkers believed the drastic measures were necessary. New York City was already infamous for high rent and property prices. New Yorkers reportedly spend up to 69% of their income on rent. And lawmakers said Airbnbs were driving those prices even higher. Landlords were charging more for rent because there were so few apartments available because everybody was doing Airbnb. And the same thing has been happening here in Jamaica. It's so hard to find a decent long-term rental at an affordable cost because investors are buying up all the new apartments and properties to convert them into Airbnbs. And like we always say, when the demand is great and the supply is few, prices go up. Now, the law was actually passed back in January, and Airbnb has been trying to fight it in court since then, but it's a losing battle. And now that we have Minister Bartlett saying they want to formalize our industry here, what does it mean for the local Airbnb industry? Whose side will the government ultimately favor? The renters who want to profit from Jamaica's lucrative tourism industry, or the tenants who are being priced out of affordable housing? We got to keep our eye on this one, and that's the bottom line. Take our Real Estate for Beginners course to learn how to start investing in real estate in Jamaica. The link is in the description. Let's get this money.
Let's get this money.